On a related note, this is a song that we wrote. Now let's get to the podcast.
You are listening to On a Related Note, where the world's most interesting people play a series of ridiculous games in order to uncover a secret code word. I'm Chris Dalriva.
And I'm John Franklin.
And who are we here with today, John?
We're here with a good buddy of mine, comedian, entertainer, Marcus Monroe. Marcus, what's up, man?
Yo, I'm good. Wait, we're playing games today?
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
so excited. I had no idea what to expect. I just walked 20 minutes with a 40-pound backpack on my back because I have a photo thing after this. I have a bunch of photos. And some of it was uphill, and I was like, oh, man, I hope this is fun. And you just mentioned the G word. I'm like, oh, yeah.
Oh, no, you're going to like
I'm
it.
Stoked.
So basically, to give you some context to this is a game show podcast. And the way the game show works is that you're playing a game about yourself.
Oh, no.
No, you're going to love it. You're going to love it, I promise. Chris, you want to
right.
give them a little more context to this?
Yeah, so there's a secret code word. Today's code word is a person, and your goal throughout the next 40 minutes to an hour is to figure out who that person is. But you figure that out in sort of a strange way. You're going to play a couple different games, and all of those games are going to have some sort of unifying theme that will ultimately clue you to who this person is.
Great. Is it someone I know?
Yeah, you definitely know.
I would be shocked if
if you didn't know, we'd be shocked. So,
but like it's not like my third grade teacher.
No.
Like,
It's
this is your life.
like the audience wants to know who the person is too. Like they'll know.
Great.
So the way that it works too, Marcus, is you have in front of you the guest book. This is what we give to every guest who's been on the show. You can flip back and see some of their notes and see how it works.
How
But
cool.
the way that we do it is like you take a page and you write down like different things that you notice and pick up about themes throughout the various games that you play, and if you figure out what it is, like hopefully your notes will help you.
This
and
is pretty much
that'll be
like
it.
an escape room in a podcast, right?
Yes, it is.
That's
This
so
is exact.
Have people said that before?
Yes,
Yeah.
this is you're like the second person who said that so far. We
I love that.
Also, my favorite thing about this podcast is we never tell anybody what the premise is beforehand. And
No.
they show up like, so what's going on here?
Maybe I should have asked. John and I were just texting, and I was like, yeah, I'll come do your pod. I just figured we were just going to talk. I think I asked you, do I have to prepare anything?
Yeah,
and
I
you're
was
just
like,
like, no. I'm like, all right.
No, we prepare everything, man.
All right,
we do.
I love that.
We even make the games up. All the games are not
Whoa.
games that like exist to the wider world. We
Okay.
make them up.
Okay.
So like they are genuinely catered towards you.
Nookie cookie?
No.
We playing? Boys? No? All right.
I'm out.
right.
Not me.
So, Marcus, as John was saying, you are, I guess, ultimately a comedian, but it seems like your skills are a bit more varied than just joke telling.
Yeah. Like everything I've ever done, comedy has been like the main focus of whatever it is. So like if I'm doing like tricks or stunts on stage, like I try to make it like the funniest version of that possible. So yeah, it's always been like whatever aside from stand up and the other like things I do is just kind of like a vehicle to drive the comedy, if that makes sense. But now it's been mostly just stand up. No other crutches on stage with me, no props. Nothing.
Well, that's the thing. If you search Marcus Monroe online, there's a lot of content about juggling.
Well, so for like over 28 years, I juggled professionally. I started when I was like very, very young, when I was like 9. And I was doing like pro shows at the age of like 12, 13.
That's crazy.
So I was almost, a prodigy in the sense that I was doing juggling shows with people who had been doing juggling forever, and I was like doing the same kind of gigs as them.
That's wild.
And because I was younger, I think I was able to learn a lot faster. My muscle memory is easier to develop when you're a kid. So that's why I'm nowhere near being like prodigy level anymore. But when you're like 9 and you're juggling fire, it's like, whoa,
Yeah.
that's crazy to a lot of people.
What is the craziest thing that you've juggled?
Well, I've done chainsaws, I've done all that, but the craziest thing is like, and I've told this story a couple times before, but it bears repeating because I've only done this once. But I was opening up for the band Cake.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
cool.
great rock band, but I was doing like extreme juggling shows at the time. I was trying to bill myself as like an extreme juggler. Okay, so whatever that means. So I was like, I'm gonna do something crazy because this show is a hometown show. I'm from Milwaukee. It was at the Riverside Theater. It's like 3,000 people. I was like, I need to do something crazy here. So I bought a 12-foot tall unicycle that I got off the internet. Some guy in Indiana makes these custom unicycles, and he makes like one, and then he's done. So I'm the only one that has this like 12-foot tall unicycle. Then I also juggled a prop I invented called a Norch. and that's just a knife and a torch taped together. Okay, and so that's kind of funny. Like I started the set being like, most people ride unicycles that look like this. Then I had my dad bring out like a regular unicycle. All right, and they're like, people are like, yeah, but I'm different. I ride a unicycle that looks like this. Then my dad brought out like the 12-foot. Everyone like was like, oh my God. And like people were like, then I was like, most people juggled fire or knives. I'm going to juggle them both together. And was like, yeah. And then I said, also, I'm going to do this while a firework explodes from my head. Because I had a helmet and I taped fireworks to it. And by the way, must have been like 22 when I did that. Yeah. So then that's the most craziest thing I did. I got on stage, got on the unicycle. My head's like 15 feet in the air. I light the firework. I light my Norches. The fire's huge. The firework's exploding. And it's one of these fireworks that kind of like emits sparks and goes, woo, woo, woo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So everyone's
like
going
the
crazy.
spinners or whatever.
And I took a moment. Yeah. And I was just like enjoying it. But you asked like, what's the craziest, dangerous thing?
That sounds pretty dangerous.
This was it because... Not like that wasn't that dangerous. Like juggling on a 12-foot tall unicycle, that's sure it's dangerous. You could fall off and you could fall back. You know, you're pretty high up.
Yeah.
But the juggling, I was really good at that. I practiced, but I was very impulsive, and I still fight with my impulsivity issues today. But like I jumped off the unicycle. I was supposed to just go back to the ladder and shimmy down and like take my bow, but I was feeling the energy of the crowd, as you would.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a rock
people.
show. Everyone's like, whoa, and I'm like, oh my God, I've never felt like this. And so I jumped off the unicycle and broke my feet, both of them at the same time. And then, yeah, that was probably the craziest thing I ever did on stage.
Oh my God.
And that's all on YouTube. You can check it out. I think I even put a video on Instagram or TikTok or something, but yep.
Did the crowd know immediately that you broke both of your feet?
No, dude, I didn't even know.
Oh.
I didn't even know because
your adrenaline must have been
exactly.
Yeah.
My adrenaline was going, and I was like, I'm gonna live forever, you know, one of those kind of guys. And then I got off stage, and I was like, oh, my feet don't feel right, and that's when it hit me. I got off stage, got up to the green room, I put my feet in a bowl of ice that had like my drinks in it and catering. You know, I just took out all the bottles of water. And because I wasn't drinking, and I put my feet in just like a punch bowl of ice, and I was like, oh, that feels good. But like, okay, so that numbed the pain. But when I took my feet out, it like they felt numb. They felt like it hurt.
Swollen,
it hurt a lot, swollen. So I had to crawl. I remember my friend Ben was there, and he like piggybacked me to the car afterwards because I couldn't like walk, and I just thought they were bruised. I was like, dang, my feet are bruised.
Yeah.
I was walking around the venue on my tiptoes, just doing damage to my feet, just destroying my freaking feet.
Jeez.
I like how the most dangerous thing you did wasn't the fireworks, the juggling.
Exactly.
It was literally the end of all of
Well, the
that.
fireworks and the fire I had done for so many times before, and I've never had any issue with that. Yeah, burns on my arms and like sparks were like kind of singed my arms and stuff, but nothing crazy. You know, I had to go to a hospital because I got like a chainsaw there to my arm, just a little nick, nothing crazy. But that the most craziest injury I had was the Norches with the 12-foot tall unicycle.
Did you patent the word Norch?
I don't think so, because I don't think I would make any money. Like, you know, like it's
Selling them? Yeah.
I think if anyone like comes up with it, I've talked about it so much. I think everyone knows it's kind of like my thing.
Yeah.
So if anyone does, I think I could just like sick the public onto them and just tweet, Instagram it. And
I do love the idea of like a commercial being like, have you ever wanted a knife and a torch together?
yeah. Look no further. It's tape. Just tape them. That's all I did was tape them together. I didn't like drill anything into it. I just like my whole career is just a bunch of tape. I have tape on my prop cases that would say my initials. I would tape everything together. I tape a cloth to the case, make it look good. I tape sequins onto my unicycle. Like tape was key.
Shout out Tape, not a sponsor.
All right, on a related note, I think we could get to our first game. But before that, Marcus, there is a prize associated with this. John, why don't you introduce the prize?
Right, Marcus, congratulations on the chance to win a package of Hello Panda strawberry flavored snacks. I don't know what they are or what it is. But basically the way it works is if you win the game, if you figure out what the prize is at the end, you don't have to keep it. You get to take the snack home with you.
I want to try it.
Okay.
I feel like this would be interesting.
Okay, but here's the catch. If you lose the game, You have to sign the Hello Panda snacks, and the next person on the podcast has to play for the Marcus Monroe signed Hello Panda snacks.
All right. Has anyone ever lost the game?
Yeah.
Yes.
Che Dorena lost, and he had to sign a gas station boner pill, and then Vanessa Jackson won it.
Oh. Nice.
Yeah, it
I
wasn't.
bet she was stoked.
Yeah, I teed her up for it before. I was like, I need to warn you, like this was not on purpose.
Hey.
And she was like, you know what? It's fine. I'll roll with it.
Love that.
Thank God that she's a comedian because if she
Vanessa's the
wasn't,
greatest.
oh, I know she's the best.
She's so cool.
I was so nervous. I was like, if there's anybody who's gonna roll with this and be fine with it, it is Vanessa. Like she'll be fine. It'll be okay.
All right.
All
I'm
right.
glad I don't have a boner pill, but that's all right.
So our
Don't
Nice.
need them.
our first game here
Not yet.
is called What's in a Name.
What's in a name?
Okay.
What's in a Name is brought to you by There It Is. Do you have a parent that constantly loses things? Well, There It Is has you covered. For $3 a month, we will send people into your house and let them sit there. And when they lose something, they'll yell, "There it is," when your parents can't find it. Use promo code RELATEDNOTE for 25% off.
So this game is
Wait, that's not real, is it?
Our ad guy gets us these ads.
Oh, that's... Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, what happened? What just happened? What just...
Our ad guy is very non-traditional. He literally gets anybody that would do a podcast ad to do a podcast ad. And we
So
just
wait,
read
that's
them.
a real ad?
They're paying to be on our podcast.
what?
Yeah, dude, you'd be shocked at the amount of businesses in the world that would pay for things like this.
Okay. Well, I just started a podcast, so I need to
I'll
get
hook it up with you.
All right, this is good.
So the premise of this game is John is very good at making up ridiculous names that sound sort of real. So we have a list of real and fake names, and it's your job to figure out which are real and which are fake.
Okay.
And Marcus, before the game starts, I want to remind you to take notes as the game goes on because a lot of people forget in the first game and then they remember after the fact.
Okay.
So that it'll just keep you on your toes as things go on.
All right.
So the way it's going to work.
I was just saying, the one other thing is, it's, just broadly, what's the unifying thing for the game is what you're looking for rather than the nitty gritty specifics.
It's not
Okay.
horribly important to win each game. It's just important to recognize what is the theme of each game.
Okay. Well,
You
I
feel
was
me?
in special ed in school, so I feel like I need like a teacher by my side to like talk this through me again here. Like at least I can take notes, so it's almost like an open book test,
Yes.
which I was
Yeah.
very familiar with.
You'll be fine. All right, so I'm going to give you the name, and I'm going to give you a description of this person's bio.
Okay.
And by using the name in the bio, you're going to have to determine whether or not that person was real.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay?
Yes.
All right, so the first one is Miss Tinguette. Miss Tinguette was a French actress and singer known for her flamboyance and zest for the theatrical. She was at one time the highest paid female entertainer in the world. In 1919, her legs were insured for $500,000. Is Miss Tinguette real or fake?
Who insured her legs?
The nation of France.
Oh, then it's false. I don't think she's real.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, I would say she's not real because I would say probably Lloyd's of London would insure her legs, not something of France.
Oh, well, she's French because she is real.
Oh, really?
Miss Tinguette is a real person.
Wait, Misty Wet?
Miss Tinguette.
Oh, I got her name wrong.
It's
That's-
the way to spell it is Mistinguett.
Oh, okay. All right.
You thought it was like a multiple name in world?
I thought it was like Misty Wet.
Okay,
And
I'll spell
that would
it
be
out.
like a stripper name or something.
Yeah, no. Miss
Or like a
Tinguette.
porn star. Okay.
All right. The next person, so you're 0 for 1, but that doesn't
right.
matter. It's
All
okay.
right.
The next person we have on the list is Weevil, Weevil. Weevil was a Canadian plate spinner that toured with the Royal Canadian International Circus. He was best known for his act where he could spin a full sterling silver platter on a single pole. When he died, he was listed as one of the 50 best Canadian cirkies of all time. Is Weevil real or fake?
Okay, so I plate spin too.
I was
Did you really?
I was gonna say that seemed like it would be in your wheelhouse.
So he can do a whole dinner set on one stick? What? I don't think that's possible because you have one access point on every stick. So he could be real, but I don't think what he claimed he did was real unless he had multiple sticks growing out of that one stick. So I'll say real, but a bullshit story.
He's not real. I made that up.
All right.
Which clearly shows my inability to understand how plate spinning works.
All right. I feel like I should get half a point for that.
Yeah, I'll give you a right on that one for sure. So Weevil is not real. The next one is Starhawk. Starhawk. Starhawk is an American feminist and author. She is best known as a theorist of feminist
Neo-paganism.
Thank God.
And ecofeminism.
Chris is much smarter than I am. In 2013, she was listed in Watkins' Mind, Body, Spirit magazine as one of the 100 most spiritually influential people. Is Starhawk real or fake?
Probably real.
Yeah.
I'd say she's real. Is she real?
She is. Good job.
Wow.
I'll give it to you.
You know also why? Because you stumbled over a word. And I figured if you would have wrote the bio, you would have known the word.
That is an absolutely fair take. So far 3 names into the game. How are you feeling? How are you feeling about everything?
I feel good. Weevil might be my favorite name today. It's awesome. Mistine Gwetz.
Yeah, you got it.
Pretty cool. Interesting names. I am taking note of the names. I don't know what this game is, but it's fun.
Okay, good. I'm glad you're having fun.
I'm having a great time.
All right, well, here's your next one. Bloopy. Bloopy. Bloopy was one of the instrumental members of the Manhattan Project. Originally born John David Farragon, Bloopy changed his name out of fear of being identified as a member of the team that created the atomic bomb. After his work on the project, he went into hiding and was never seen again. Is Bloopy real or fake?
Ooh. So real, fake, real. I'm gonna say fake.
And you'd be correct. Bloopy is not real. That is a thing I made up. The most absurd name for the most serious possible situation.
When you said the Manhattan Project, right?
Yeah.
I was like, wait, that's not a good one, right? I was thinking. Then you said the atomic bomb.
Yes.
I was like, all right.
Yeah, but could you imagine being so afraid of getting caught with like that type of thing? You're like, I got to change my name to something hilarious.
You just sound like a children's entertainer now. You sound like, or you worked with Weevil on the road.
Who could spin a whole dinner platter on one stick.
All right, we got 2 more here.
2 more left. All right, Evergreen. Evergreen like the tree, spelled the same way. Evergreen is currently one of the stars of the Extreme Midget Wrestling Federation. His gimmick is that he dresses as a small evergreen tree and is known for his incredible acrobatics. Is Evergreen real or fake?
I pray to God he's real. I pray to God. I'm going to say he's real because I've seen some of the, can I just call it the EMW videos on my Instagram, and they look wild. So I'll say Evergreen's real.
Unfortunately, Evergreen is fake.
Are you kidding?
No, I wish I wasn't.
Oh, that would be so
No,
good.
that is a real sports organization.
Yeah, it is. The EMW social media game is so good.
It's pretty good.
I love it. I love
There's also like another one called like Micro Brawlers or something. Like Micro's in the name, and I'm just like, oh man, it's awesome.
All right, we got 1 more.
So right now you've gotten 1, 2. We'll go 3 right, 2 wrong, right?
Yep.
3 right, 2 wrong going into the last one.
You're being very generous. I think it's only okay.
No, we gave you Weevil because of the
Okay.
nonsense.
Okay. All right.
All right, here we go. Zucchero, Zucchero, is an Italian singer, musician, and songwriter. His stage name is the Italian word for sugar, as his elementary teacher used to call him that. His music is largely inspired by gospel, soul, blues, and rock music, and alternates between Italian ballads and more rhythmic R&B boogie-like pieces. So basically every form of music possible. He is credited as the, quote, father of Italian blues, introducing blues to the big stage in Italy. He is one of the few European blues artists who still enjoys great international success. Is Zucchero real?
Can we just... I don't see any of these before John writes them, so this is the first I see them too. Just very strange for the elementary school teacher to call her student sugar. That's...
Listen, man.
I think it's probably real. I'm gonna say it's real.
And it is. It is real. Whoa. Zucchero is a real person. I thought it was insane that his teacher actually called him sugar that early. Second of all, insane that it's like he's like the father of the Italian blues. Like, what are the Italian blues?
That's weird. Did you know that Italians, they had a guy sing, like, I think this was probably in like the 60s or 70s, sing a song that sounded like it was in English, but it was just gibberish. but it sounded like he was singing in English, and
it was a
everyone
hit,
loved
right?
it. It was like the #1 hit.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like you have to know that.
I've seen. I always see a video floating around about that on like TikTok or whatever.
And I think it was an Italian.
Yeah,
guy.
I think it was.
So.
So you're so end of the first game. That's
Yeah.
the end of the first game. Any common themes, things that you're noticing right off the bat?
A lot of the names are interesting.
It's important.
A lot of there's a plate spinner, a singer. These are all kind of like performers, right? There's like a singer, a wrestler. But a guy that made an atomic bomb as well.
Well, but he's also fake.
So maybe the real people are performers that might be interesting.
Well, you don't have to figure it all out right now. But
We're just trying to see if there's a theme
I just had
there.
a question.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of interesting skills: plate spinning, juggling.
Yeah.
Beyond comedy, I don't understand how you get into or learn to do something like it. Is it a family trade or
Not at all. Like when I wanted to get into, let's bowl spinning, for example. I got into it maybe fairly recently. Want to say maybe like 7 or 8 years ago. I had an idea for an act I wanted to do, and I was like, oh, it'd be fun to bowl spin and then do something else to add like chaos to my show. And I didn't know how to bowl spin. I didn't know and you can buy like plastic bowls on their plates that have like divots in the middle and put them on like colorful sticks. But that seemed so fake.
Yeah.
And so like anyone could do it. I want to do it for real. So I just bought, I had a buddy make me like a sawhorse with a banister on it, and they drilled holes in there. Then I put sticks in the holes, but they actually were driveway markers. Then I went to Chinatown, and I spent $300 from find the right kind of bowls that I can spin on these sticks. And so it's all trial and error, really, to figure out like what would work. And it took a while to figure out like what works. But now whenever I do it, and I haven't done it for years, but I would use like ceramic bowls, and when they would fall to the ground, they would smash and just into like a million pieces. So it's pretty terrifying. Yeah.
So when we've talked about this when like we first went out the one time,
Yeah.
we were doing shows together, that like, you were transitioning and going through the whole process of like people knew you as like the juggling entertainer, comedian, and now you are a comedian.
Yeah, and now
through and
people
through.
don't even know that I used to juggle. Like I was even thinking, oh, maybe I should post a clip from my old juggling show on Instagram, and my wife's like, don't do that because people might be like, wait, what are you doing? Or she was like, some people don't know you used to do that. Might throw off the algorithm. I don't know, but
I don't know.
it's fun. It's interesting.
John told me that I just remember this because you brought up your wife. John told me I had to ask you about your honeymoon.
Oh yeah, it was great. We spent 2 weeks in St. Martin. I did book it at what turned out to be a nudist resort, which was. We waited a long time to tell people about that. And it turned out to be the first few days were a little rocky, but after a while we got into it, had a good time.
Oh, so you embraced the nudism.
Well, we were there for 2 weeks, man.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be those people in clothes at the nudist resort. People just look at you weird, and they're like, why are you here then? You can just go to a normal resort. And we probably should have just gone to a normal resort, when we figured it out. But
How quickly does it take you to realize that you're at a nudist resort?
when we checked in, everyone looked normal, but there was like a naked mural behind the front desk, and we just thought it was like weird art.
Yeah.
Like it was like a naked family. We're like, oh, that's weird, but it was like painted, so
Yeah.
it wasn't like pornography, but it was just like, oh, that's interesting. And then we saw they had like golf carts you could drive around the compound and stuff, and like I saw, oh, that guy, is he not wearing clothes? Then like we go into the dining hall because we got there around the dinner time, and it was like one of these all-inclusives where you can just like there's like, buffets and stuff, and we walked in and we were like, oh, everyone is naked. And then I like
For dinner?
Dude, everyone's naked all the time there.
It's a nudist resort.
Yeah, that's the whole point. They went dancing naked. We never did it, but there was like a dance parties naked. That was too much for us. We went to the beach naked, and then we put on clothes for like the rest of the night.
I feel like the beach is like the safe spot of that. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because you could be like sitting down and have like your legs up, so like people can't see your stuff. Like there were. I learned how to sit like in a way that didn't look like I was trying to hide from people, but I was definitely trying to hide from people. We actually met this one couple during our honeymoon. They were Canadian, And I thought they were kind of nice. Like, it was a guy and his wife. And we're like, oh, they're kind of cool, normal. And then he invited us out to dinner at his little shack. Everyone has their own little house. It's like a studio apartment kind of a thing. And we're like, yeah, we'll come over for dinner. And then he's like, yeah, we're going to be naked, though. We're like, oh, yeah, that's right. And he's like, also, we're really religious. We're like, whoa. Oh
my gosh.
Oh, God. And then so I call him and I canceled dinner. I was like, look, man, we're going to do our own thing tonight. I told him, like, we drank too much. And then we would see him on the beach. And because he was super religious and I'm not, I wrote like 666 in the sand right where we were sitting, hoping that would keep him away. I was just trying to get the fucking naked Canadian Jesus freak out of my life.
That is such a crazy juxtaposition to be like, we're gonna go be naked at a resort for God. Like we really like
he kept
God.
saying it said it was okay in the Bible. I was like, dude, you're such an idiot. Like, you're so weird. He was just paging through the Bible to look for like things that say it's okay so he can live his life any way he wants to. I'm like, just live your life. Dude.
Yeah.
Don't put restrictions.
To me, the thing that I think I would struggle most with nudism would be the eating. I feel like I would really worry about like spilling something on my skin.
I think for me it would just the generally being naked would be the thing I'd have the most trouble with.
And everyone always says, oh, you always go to at a nudist beach. It's all the people you don't want to see naked.
Yeah.
But like, now I take offense to that because I was there. I'm like, wait, what?
You were also there by accident too, so you're like, oh, I'm one of them. Like,
yeah, I should say we did go back.
Did you?
We had a good time. We went back once.
On a related note, why don't we get to our second game, John?
All right, yeah, let's do it. Our second game is called Before or After, Before and After.
On the wheel, there it is, and here comes our next puzzle, Before and After.
Before or After, Before and After is brought to you by Groom Broom. Does your dog shed? Well, Groom Broom is the solution. It's a broom that cleans up pet debris. Use promo code NOTE for 3 brooms with the order of 1.
So this is the game that I think sounds the most confusing, but
Is genuinely pretty easy to figure out.
So we're gonna go through it. We're gonna ask you a question with 2 answers. The catch is that the answers are gonna link together. For example, if the question was, this country music singer won a Grammy for Love Can Build a Bridge and subsequently a big-time comedy producer known for the 40-Year-Old Virgin, the answer would be Naomi Judd Apatow.
Wow, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Got it. Yeah.
Answers can also overlap. So if the question was something like, this comedian is currently the star of Ted Lasso and is the title of one of Seal's greatest hits, the answer would be Jason Sudeikis from A Rose.
I love it. Got it.
So this is, if you ever watch like Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy, they do stuff like this. But our catch is that after you identify that, you're going to have to identify which thing came earlier, the before or the after in the clue. So, for example, in the Jason Sudeikis from A Rose, you'd have to identify or guess if Jason Sudeikis was born first or if Seal's Kiss from a Rose came out first.
Oh, okay.
In this case, Sudeikis was born in 1975. Kiss from a Rose came out in 1994. So the answer would be Jason Sudeikis.
Okay.
Is that, you got it?
Yeah, so it's a two-parter.
Yeah.
All right.
Two-parter.
I don't know if I'll be good at this, but I'm going to try.
I think you're going to be the key for me, and I always say this to any guest who plays this game, is if you can get at least one, it will lead you one direction to the other to both. Like, it really does limit it.
And even if you don't get the first, before, and after, you still can guess which came first.
Yeah, you can still get the points.
Okay.
All right, so number 1. This magician, known as the Mind Freak, is also known for a baseball movie where heavenly apparitions help a California MLB team.
Chris Angel in the outfield.
Yes.
Yeah, bang. Chris Angel's in the outfield
then
is correct.
Our question is, was Chris Angel born first, or did the movie Angels in the Outfield come out first?
Chris Angel was born first.
Okay.
That is absolutely correct.
Chris Angel was born in 1967. Angels in the Outfield came out in 1994.
Yeah.
Bang. 1 for 1, 2 for 2, really, Marcus.
Really?
Right off the jump.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
Feels good. I hate Chris Angel, but this feels good.
Really? You hate Chris Angel?
Yeah. What's to like? What is to like about
What do you
Chris
mean,
Angel?
floating above
Oh,
buildings?
he's an idiot. Trash.
All right, number 2.
All right. This Las Vegas staple is the speaking half of one of the best magic duos of all time and was the inspiration for one of the Beatles' most famous songs. I can read it again.
Penn? Well, I know it's Penn. But one of the Beatles' most famous songs?
Yeah.
Penn, Gillette. let it be.
Yes, Angel, let it be.
Heck yeah, this is great.
Our second, the part two, who was Penn Jillette born first, or was Let It Be released first?
Let It Be was released first.
You would be incorrect.
Really?
Penn Jillette was born in 1955. Let It Be was released in 1970.
Oh,
Penn Jillette looks really good for his age.
I
You gotta
guess
give him
so.
some credit.
Yeah, dang.
Wow. So yeah, it is really fun when you get one right. Like when you really decipher it. And
Do I get
figure it-
half of that right?
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
You get half of it right.
All right.
All right. Are you ready for number 3?
Yes, sir.
These German-American magicians and entertainers could really make a tiger purr when they would get the best available hand in poker.
Siegfried and Royal Flush.
Yeah.
Bang! Let's go.
Go.
Quite good at this. So, our question is: did Siegfried and Roy start performing together first, or did ESPN start broadcasting the World Series of Poker first?
Oh. Well, I don't know much about Siegfried and Roy, but I would say they probably performed first together.
So you would be correct. They started performing in Vegas in 1967, and ESPN picked up the World Series of Poker for broadcast in 1987.
Wow.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
All right, you got one.
It actually feels really good. To get one right.
You
This
go
is a
3
fun
for
game.
3.
I like this game a lot.
You got one more left here. Are you
Okay.
ready?
Yes.
Number 4. Neil Patrick Harris played this womanizing, funny / magic man on How I Met Your Mother before becoming one of the most well-known serial killers of all time.
Okay, so I'm friends with Neil, but I never watched How I Met Your Mother. But
You're friends with Neil and you've never watched How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah, but I do know he played Barney.
Okay.
Do you know what Barney's last name is? That's really the killer here.
But wait, what's the part about the killer then?
It was before becoming one of the most well-known serial killers of all time.
Is it Barney Bundy? Paul Bundy?
No.
Oh shit!
This will be tough if you don't know his last name.
If you don't know Barney's last name on the show, it's really hard.
Don't know his last name on the show.
Okay, we'll give it to you. This is Barney Stint, son of Sam.
Oh yeah, would not have known
Yeah,
that.
so
Barney
Barney
Stin-
Stinson and then Son of Sam.
But you could still get a little point here. Did How I Met Your Mother air first, or did the Son of Sam get caught first?
I think the Son of Sam, was that in Boston?
It was New York.
I think
We can give you that.
probably he got caught first.
You would be correct. How I Met Your Mother first aired in 2005. David Berkowitz, known as the Son of Sam, was caught in 1977.
Yeah, wow.
So-
Okay. He got caught.
Can we rewind?
Yeah. Neil
How do you
Patrick
know
Harris.
Neil Patrick Harris?
How do we meet?
Yeah.
Well, I wanted him to direct my show. I was writing a one-man show. I wanted him to direct it. So I didn't know him. But I had a DVD out, and I had some friends that knew him. So I went to Regis and Kelly. This was back in 2009, 2008 or something. And he was guest hosting for Regis Philbin. So I went there to the studio at like 6 in the morning. Something got awfully early. Waited for like an hour. Saw his SUV pull up. Waved him down. He got out. I'm like, hey man, I'm a juggler and a comedian. I have a show. I would love for you to direct it. And he's like, okay, thanks. He took my DVD. I wrote him a letter. A month later, I get an email from him. He's like, hey dude, I watched your DVD. Love to do your show. Ball's in your court. And I was like, holy
Wow.
shit, this is unbelievable. And I should say I had 2 friends that I knew who kind of knew him reach out and say, hey, let him know Marcus is like legit, not some crazy person. So then we tried to make it work for him to direct my show. I was going to go to Canada. He was filming Smurfs 2, and we were going to like talk about the show, kind of workshop it out there, but we just couldn't get our schedules to work. I was like happy to just cancel everything.
Yeah.
But he was like, oh, I got this and that, and he just like couldn't find the time. And then in 2012, we were both booked together to perform at Outside Lands in San Francisco. And his assistant got in touch with me about doing an act with him together on stage. So we made this whole act together. And then we, rehearsed it that day, then did it on stage, and it was really fun. And we've kind of like kept touch throughout the years. I mean, I haven't seen him in maybe like 5 years, but you know how it is when if we had some, if I actually sent him to my friend's juggling show that was in New York a year ago. So like we're still like communicating.
That's
but
so
it's like,
cool.
Yeah. But yeah, he's a really good, really funny guy.
So
Really
what
good.
happened with the one-man show?
I took it to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival.
No way.
Yeah, in 2017. And it did really well there, but nothing ever really happened from it since then, which is fine. It ran its course, and sometimes shows like go to the Fringe, and that's all they do. I did like a New York run at Joe's Pub, did it at Ars Nova, did it at Art New York. So I had like 3 or 4 incarnations in the city before we took it to Edinburgh.
John's going to be at Edinburgh this year.
Yeah,
Really?
I'm doing my version of the one-man show.
Great.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Oh,
I'm
awesome.
doing 9 shows in 9 nights.
Wow, well that's good. I did 27 shows in 27 nights, and then
Holy
on
crap.
top of that, I did promo shows to promote the show. So my show was at 3 o'clock. Before and after that, I would do other small shows to promote the main show.
That's so sick.
Such a hustle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm excited. It'll be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad to hear that you went. Like, it's nice to hear somebody having like that sort of experience with their show because I don't know what to expect. If I'm
it's
honest
great,
with you.
man. It's really fun. Hire a publicist though, definitely.
Yeah, I got one.
Good.
I'm ready to rock.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that was like the one piece of advice I got from other people too was like get a publicist. You're
Yeah,
gonna need one for this.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
can't wait to talk to you about that. That's
Yeah,
exciting.
I would love to like pick your brain about
Yeah,
where to
let's
go
do
and
it.
stuff. Yeah, we'll do that after this.
All right, on a related note, why don't we hit game 3?
Game 3 is
three.
called. Are you ready? Game 3.
Game 3.
Game 3 is called Hey Buddy.
Hey, Harry, old buddy, old pal.
Hey Buddy is brought to you by Tough to Tell You. If you have a secret you have to tell someone, but you're having a hard time getting it out, you need this product. For $54.95, we will send somebody to tell that secret for you. Get your first secret on us with promo code RELATEDNOTE.
So the way
This can't be real. It cannot be real. Your fake ass advertisement. This isn't even a real podcast, is it?
No, the cameras aren't running.
I don't think so. Fake ass blog podcast. What the fuck?
we have a series of clips from John's friend Luke describing things in 10 seconds or less. We basically said to him, describe this thing, you have 10 seconds.
Okay, and I have to tell him. I have to figure out what he's describing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got it.
So you'll need the headphones for this one.
Okay.
We will play it through there. So are we ready for the first one?
I'm ready if you're ready.
Okay.
Really famous prison that's out west. I wouldn't want to go there personally.
It's the prison. I think he's talking about the prison in Arizona, right? That's like so hot they don't have air conditioning. Is that right?
I don't think any prisons have air conditioning, do they?
Yeah.
They do?
Well, they're supposed
They're
to.
supposed
But there's just one in Arizona where like the governor is like he has people like even like sleep outside because it's crazy. Is that it?
So it's not that.
Oh wait, is it Alcatraz?
Yeah, it's Alcatraz.
Oh, but I've been there. That's like a tourist attraction now.
I don't think you realize that Alcatraz doesn't have prisoners anymore.
No, it's totally like just like I've been
Abandoned.
there twice or 3. Yeah, it's good. It's haunted, probably scary place, but yeah. Okay.
Okay, number 2.
It's a prison movie that's really famous, but I haven't seen it. I'm pretty sure they're trying to break out, but to know that for sure, I'd probably have to see the movie.
All right. Well, there are 2. There's either The Rock or The Escape from Alcatraz.
Well, okay, so before you do that, they're not all related to each other, like in this game.
Oh, okay.
The Rock is a great movie, though.
The Rock is a good movie. Okay. Well, I think it's probably one of those 2. If you're okay.
It is a.
Did you say it was a TV show or a movie?
It's a movie.
It's
Okay.
a movie about a. And I will say his speculation is correct. It is about
Escaping.
ultimately about an escape
From prison?
from
Yes.
prison.
But it's not The Rock or The Escape
No,
from Alcatraz?
it's neither.
Oh, boy. I don't know. Tell me, what is it?
The Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, did he try to escape in that?
Yeah, he crawls through the tunnel of
That's
crap.
such a good movie.
I love that
I
movie.
can't believe I forgot about that.
Okay. Next.
Morgan Freeman.
Shout out Morgan Freeman, friend of the podcast.
Is he?
No.
2004 pop song, probably Akon's greatest feature, and he says "wee woo" over and
Akon.
over
Oh
and
my
over
God,
again.
it's been a million years since I've heard that name. Akon. What did he sing?
He
said-
featured in it. He featured
Yeah,
in
so
their
it's-
song.
it's not
So
his-
it's not even his song.
Oh.
He didn't even. I realized now he didn't even give the name of the person who's in the whose song it
Who
is.
did he even do songs with? Like Sean Paul or like
Should we tell
Kingston?
him who the song is by?
Yeah, the song is by Gwen Stefani.
oh
And he does do
Holla
wee
back
he does wee woo.
wee woo. Okay, so this is when like Okay, so that was she went single.
Yeah.
From No Doubt. She had what you waiting for? Tick tock, tick tock. And then the song was like Go Bananas. We BANANAS. You know? Okay. God, I don't know the song she did with Akon because I haven't thought about him in 20 years.
As you should.
God. I'm just gonna say it was What You Waiting For? That song? TikTok, whatever.
It was not. It was the Sweet Escape.
I wouldn't have known that.
Would you like to? Well, we're gonna play a short clip of the Sweet Escape.
Oh, great.
Get ready for the wee woo.
Is it a karaoke version?
I should have chopped this up.
Here it is.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This song. Akon's voice doing that?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's like that's his whole feature. I don't remember him having a verse in it.
No, he doesn't. He just does wee woo.
Woo woo yee woo.
All right, so we got
The best in the biz.
we got two more here, I think. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
U.S. military location that's probably the most safe place to keep things. That's not Area 51.
That's actually a pretty good description. I'll give him that one.
I was thinking Area 51. I was thinking that was the only thing I was thinking. He said military place that is a good place to keep things. Oh, man.
That's not Area 51.
Okay. Is that like Guantanamo? Or is it
You're on
like-
the right track.
Okay. You could be like, is there like a bunker somewhere?
Sort of.
The Pentagon? That's probably not a safe place. Right?
The Pentagon, friend of the podcast.
Can't be.
We got a lot of friends.
A lot of friends of the podcast.
Stuff. Military.
You can take a guess if you want to.
Well, I don't know.
You're not brushed up on your secure military locations.
Well, no.
As you shouldn't be. Again, like Akon.
Oh man, I don't know. I'd say just Guantanamo. I guess I know that's not correct, but
So he was trying to describe Fort Knox.
oh yeah, okay.
Fort Knox is
So-
a big one.
So, yeah.
All right, we got one more.
one more here.
I'm not good at this one.
That's okay. Like I said, it only matters if you get the end right.
Famous TV show I've never seen before, Wentworth Miller and Dominic Purcell star, and it's not CW's The Flash.
Prison Break.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that was a great show. A lot. Okay, there is a theme here in the third game.
What do you got?
Well, it's about a lot of prison stuff. Alcatraz. You have the Sweet Escape. So like Prison Break. I'm thinking like some, one is
Escaping from something.
escaping.
And what did you... We didn't ask in the last one because we got hung up on, I think, Neil Patrick Harris.
Mm-hmm.
Did you find any themes in the second game as well?
Well, a lot of magicians.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
I mean, you have Chris Angel, Penn Jillette, Siegfried and Roy. Neil Patrick Harris is a magician. So it's all magic.
Okay.
So I have a question for you. I was doing some internet stalking of you before this, and it says you performed in China 150 times.
Yeah.
That's a lot of times.
Whoa.
Too many. Hated it.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Was it like what you were just there for like 150 days, or
I was there for a month, and I did like 7 shows a day.
how did you get booked out in the Far East?
The worst agent ever. I had piece of shit agency that sent me out there, and they lied the whole time. And I took my buddy Ben Seidman with me, who's a magician as well. I mean, I'm not a magician, but he is. And we did all these shows together, and we stayed in the agent lied so much. We had a hotel room we shared together for a month, just like a regular
What?
hotel room for a month together. We'd have to like build little barriers to jerk off, like we're like so we couldn't see each other. Not like we were looking, but it was wild, man. It was, I mean, that was 2011 or something, 2010. It was yeah, and the audiences there suck, man. Like they were.
Yeah.
I mean, part of it could have been English,
Fair enough, yeah.
But yeah, man, it was a good experience because I was young and it didn't really affect me either, like my career at all. Like taking a month to go to China right now, that could like not be a smart move. But back then it didn't matter.
Right.
Okay, so did not.
And each show was only like 15 minutes. And it was all
But
during the
still.
day at the Venetian.
That's a lot. 150 shows in a month is a lot of shows.
Dude.
And you would have thought I would have gotten better by the end of that show, but I just remember my last show being so sloppy. Yeah.
You were getting worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
terrible.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
But you perform internationally somewhat frequently.
Yeah, I do, but this was the first time going to Asia to do performance, and I didn't really know what to expect. It was like a silent show. I had music, so I kind of did like just juggling the music, but my whole thing is like talking, being funny, personality. So I was just trying to count down the days till I got back home.
What's the most interesting place you've performed at? Like a place you didn't think you were going to enjoy, and you're like, wow, this was a great experience.
Oh, that's a great question, because there's a lot of places where I dread going because I think the shows are going to be terrible, and there's a lot of places I really look forward to, and the shows are awful. Well, I had this one show I was really well, this doesn't answer your question at all, but I had one show I was really looking forward to during the pandemic because it paid really well, and it was like, we're going to be at a resort. It's going to be on a golf course, and you're going to do an hour, and then we'll pay you really well and put you up here. I was like, oh, this is great. And then I get there, and I'm actually performing literally on, like, the 9th hole. Like, and they have everyone in, like, golf carts, like, driving up to see. But, like, you can't do comedy outdoors on, like, it's windy.
Yeah,
There was, no one was laughing. I did a parking lot show, too, during the pandemic where I was, like cars were like beep to laugh, you know what I mean? It was just awful, terrible. But if there a place I never did it.
It seems you've done corporate events, you've done cruise ships, you've done big music festivals.
Yeah.
Letterman.
Letterman was amazing, really crazy experience because I didn't know I was doing Letterman. I got a call that day, said someone dropped out. Can you fill in and go on Letterman today? I was like, I haven't showered or anything. And they're like, you need to go to the studio right away. So I just put on clothes, didn't even shower, didn't even brush my teeth, and went on and performed on Letterman.
Whoa.
It was wild.
Did you get to meet him?
No.
No.
I got to meet Paul Schaefer though. So like,
that's cool.
it was like a runner up, not bad, talented dude. Yeah. I don't know where I've been not had. Oh, I used to write a list of places I never wanted to perform again. One of them was like St. Francis University in Chicago because they booked me to
specific.
Yeah, they booked me to perform, and they had me like in the dorm room, like common area, and I was like, there's people like microwaving popcorn like 10 feet away from me. No one, they didn't promote the show. No one came. This one guy actually came, and he was like a magician, and he was like taking notes. And because he was writing about the show for a magazine, then he published about the show in his book or something. But he was like, no one was there, but he was still put on a really good show. I was like, oh, that's nice. But it was just like, oh, yeah. I used to have a list of places.
So a lot of you remember all the bad locations.
You definitely do. Maybe I still have places.
The other thing I was curious about from your bio, and then I'll stop asking you bio questions, is it says you performed or you did something with Pawn Stars, which I could not find online.
Oh yeah. So before Pawn Stars was aired on TV, they were filming the first season, and I had a call from a friend of mine who was working on the production company, and she's like, "Hey, can you come to Vegas or are you going to be in Vegas, and can you come into this pawn shop and pretend to sell stuff?" And they'll and I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I brought in a unicycle, and this was in like 2009 or something, and I was like, "I want to sell this unicycle," and I talked to like the main guys, like they were the guys, and then they looked at my unicycle, like $200. I'm like, and we like haggled, and then like it was all fake though. It was all completely fake. I got my unicycle back, gave them the money back, and we did all these interviews and stuff. And
did it air?
I don't know. They used me in the commercial for the first season. Like I was on the History Channel like every day, like because I unicycled in the store, like around all the stuff, and they thought that was really funny. But I didn't get I didn't get paid for it. It was actually a complete waste of time. They were kind of rude. Like I wanted to have a good experience, but they didn't really know what the show was either because this was before it had even aired.
Right.
They're like, oh, this might just not even take off, but it happened to be like the biggest show that History Channel has ever produced.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
I have the footage though because I had a flip camera and I filmed everything. So I have all the behind the scenes footage. I have me doing interviews. I have my friend Ben, who I keep talking about. He was there too, and he did magic for them. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That is cool. Should we?
Let's do it. Let's get to the last game.
All right. So our final game here is called
Dying to Know.
Dying to Know.
I'm dying here.
Okay.
So before we get to the ever important ad read for Dying to Know,
Right.
we will tell you that there is a certain number of questions that we're going to ask you in this game. If you get the majority of them correct, we will give you a bonus clue going into the final
Nice.
decision.
That's very nice of you.
Yeah, we like to think we're nice guys here on On a
yeah,
Related
yeah.
Note. Have a lot of friends on the podcast. So, all right. Dying to Know is... Hold up. Dying to Know is brought to you by Tickle Me Kyle. You need somebody to... Sorry. Dying to Know is brought to you by Tickle Me Kyle. You need someone to create a distraction? Well, for $45, CEO Kyle Grossman will help distract them by tickling them. If you want them to show up for free the first time, use promo code, quote, Chris Knows Kyle.
I do not know Kyle. I just want
This
to
is bullshit. I know for a fact.
Oh, what? You don't think Tickle Me Kyle it could really be...
It's a cash grab.
It's a cash grab.
So Dying to Know is probably the simplest game.
Yeah.
I'm just going to read you a description of a person, and you have to tell me if they are still alive.
Oh, okay.
So we are dying to know if this person is living.
Okay.
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you get 3 or more correct, we will give you a bonus clue. And then using all the information you have, you'll try to piece together what the theme of this episode was.
Okay.
So, number 1, nicknamed, quote, the Iceman, George Gervin played professional basketball in both the ABA and NBA for the Virginia Squires, San Antonio Spurs, and Chicago Bulls. In 1996, Gervin was named as one of the 50 greatest players in NBA history. Is George Gervin alive or dead?
Alive.
He is alive. He is
Correct.
71 years old.
Yeah.
Are you a basketball fan?
Yeah. He's friends with my dad.
What?
No, he's not.
He comes over for Thanksgiving.
That would have been awesome. Yeah, I was with George the other day.
Yeah, hey.
Certainly
I don't know
alive.
that guy. Never heard of him, but I'm glad he's alive.
Shout out the Iceman, George Gervin. Not a sponsor of the podcast either.
Number 2. So that's 1. You only need 2 more. Number 2. Doris Mary Kappelhoff, known professionally as Doris Day, was one of the most commercially successful singers during the 40s and 50s. She later launched a successful film career. Her most enduring song is Que Sera, Sera, Whatever Will Be, Will Be. Is Doris Day living or dead?
I don't think so. I think she's dead.
Doris Day is indeed dead. She
Correct.
died in 2019 at the ripe old
Aw.
age of 97.
Wow, what a life.
Per her request, there was no funeral, grave marking, or memorial service.
You really think that was her saying that?
I don't know.
I doubt it. It's probably her family was like, she didn't want anything.
They spent the estate and forgot to give her a funeral.
Yeah, if you're a performer, you're gonna think you're gonna go out with no bang at all. Come on, that's what you live for your whole entire life is attention, and now
That is true.
you don't want an after party.
That's fair.
They should call funerals after parties.
I like that.
That's actually the ad sponsor for our final
Oh, sorry.
our final game, After Parties. But to be clear now, you got 2. You need 1 more to get the bonus.
All
clue.
right.
But we're still doing all 5 no matter what because we love the fun.
Yes.
We love the fun.
Well, I might still mess it up.
Yeah, that's true. But I think you're going to know this next one.
Okay.
John Michael Osborne, known professionally as Ozzy Osbourne, rose to prominence in the 1970s as the lead singer of Black Sabbath, dubbed, quote, the Prince of Darkness. Osborne later launched a solo career with songs like Crazy Train and Mr. Crowley. To a younger generation, he is best known as the centerpiece of the MTV reality show, The Osbournes. Is Ozzy Osbourne alive or dead?
He's alive, but I think he's probably like brain dead, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's alive.
I think
Somehow doing it.
the famous drug user is still alive at 74. I believe he has Parkinson's now.
Oh, that's sad to hear.
But he is somehow still alive.
Wow.
So you will get the bonus.
I love it.
Next, but we're going to play the rest of them. 2 more. Media entrepreneur Ted Turner founded CNN and TBS during his illustrious career. The billionaire was also famously married to Jane Fonda during the 1990s. Is Ted Turner alive or dead?
I think he's dead.
Ted Turner is alive.
Ah.
He's 84, but noted in 2018 that he is suffering from Lewy body dementia. So
He always thinks his name is Louis.
Oh no.
I don't think that's what it is. No.
Terrible disease.
yeah, He's still alive, but I don't think he's well right now. This is
That's-
a very depressing game. Yeah. We have one more.
Okay.
One of the most prominent sex symbols of the 50s and 60s, Brigitte Bardot, retired in 1973, becoming a prominent and controversial animal and political rights activist. Actually, not political rights, political activist. Is Brigitte Bardot alive or dead?
Dead?
The 4-time married Bardot is alive at 88 years old.
So it was important that you ripped off those first three.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I mean, I hadn't. Yeah. Crazy.
So I will give you the 5 names, just so you have them. The people were George Gervin, Doris Day, Ozzy Osbourne, Ted Turner, and Brigitte Bardot.
I see what we're doing here.
So your bonus clue in the theme of the last game is that this person who is ultimately who you're trying to figure out here is dead.
Okay, I know who it is.
Oh, do you want to
Wow.
you want to just rip it?
We want to let's see what you got. All right, Marcus. On a related note, who do you think was the theme of your podcast?
Harry Houdini.
You
And
are
you'd be
correct.
correct.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you win the Hello Panda
Was that
strawberry.
the fastest guess?
That
to
was
get
very-
it?
That was very quick.
It was the initials that really helped.
Was it
That's
really?
the final one. Well, I knew it was something. Okay,
let's
obviously
talk
a lot
through
of
it.
magicians. Now the first game we played, I don't know.
So the idea with the first game was these were all supposed to be people who were known by one name.
So like Houdini, yeah.
So I feel like Houdini's usually known by one name, but
Yeah, but you could get him Harry Houdini too. It was a little bit of a stretch, but that's why like the rest of it kind of.
And the prison break because he escaped from
Escape
jail.
artist,
And I was
yeah.
also thinking maybe because he said he was gonna escape death.
Yeah.
Too. But yeah, the when you said the names again, I was like, oh, because I wasn't taking notes on the last game.
that's why I said them again. I noticed.
You set me up, Chris. Thank you.
So I part of the reason
Congratulations.
we picked Harry Houdini was because we felt like, well, I did notice that you are, as you've mentioned a bunch of times, associated with the magician Ben Seidman. Mm-hmm. But I felt like a lot of the things that you've done in the past are like magic tangential. Like,
Oh yeah, totally. Magic adjacent. And
Yeah.
also, Harry Houdini is from Wisconsin, and I'm from Wisconsin.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we didn't even know that.
That
Yeah.
we didn't know.
Yeah. Well, he lived in. He's not. I don't think he was born there, but he lived there. And there's like a Harry Houdini museum
Wow.
in Appleton, Wisconsin.
way.
Yeah.
But you've never done magic.
Not really, no. Like, I started out as a magician when I was like 9 years old. I would like juggle, do magic tricks. Then I sold all my magic props to my buddy Ben, who became like a famous magician.
No
And
way.
then I just kept on juggling. Yeah.
What a story. That's
Yeah.
so cool. And then you guys performed together quite a bit,
Yeah,
right?
we just did last week. We sold out Turner Hall in Wisconsin. Got like 600 people out.
Nice.
Show. It was amazing.
Oh,
So why don't you tell the people where to find you, what
Yeah,
you're
do
going to
a
be up
little
to?
plug.
Oh, I loved it. All right, so Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, just search Marcus Monroe. I also started a new podcast that John's going to be on called Talkie Walkie. I also have a patreon.com/Marcus Monroe. You can, exclusive content on the Patreon. Just launched it today.
Oh, wow.
What a day. Yeah, I tour all around though, so go to my website, marcusmonroe.com for dates.
Yeah, it looks like you are a busy man.
Yeah.
According to your website. So,
Oh, can we try one of these?
yeah, why
let's-
not?
All right.
Well, and I just on a related note, I just want to say thanks, Marcus, for coming on the show. Always a pleasure hanging out with you, man. And
Oh yeah, dude, it's so fun. Thank you. All right, give one to Chris.
I don't think Chris can eat it.
I have a food allergy.
Oh, are you allergic to panda strawberry?
I'm just guessing there's dairy.
You ready?
Cheers.
Cheers,
Congratulations.
Hearing the chewing is. How is it?
brother. Not bad.
It's fine.
Yeah.
There's some it tastes like almost fake cheese, not strawberry, to me for some reason.
Yeah.
Right? Doesn't it?
That sounds like a miss.
Delicious.
All right. On a related note, I'm Chris Dalriva,
And I'm John Franklin.
and we will see you in 2 weeks.
On a related note, this is a song that we wrote. Now let's get to the podcast.